friends. How are we doing today? Can I get a round of happy emojis if you're with us? Yeah. We got one corner. We got the whole spread. Perfect. Welcome to this fabulous day, Saturday, October 3rd. My name is Aiden. I am your project manager here with PXR, the Performance and XR Symposium 2020. I am speaking to you here from the stolen and unceded territories in East Vancouver with the Musqueam, the Squamish, and the Tsleil-Waututh Nations. Just like to take a moment to thank our beautiful Canada Council Digital Art Strategy Fund for helping us pivot what would have been an in-person conference into a full VR experience to talk about what we can do with digital technology nowadays. Beaming in from Toronto, I would like to introduce Nick Fox-Gig, who has created this wonderful lightning toolkit. And to speak more about it, the creator.
All right. So hello, everyone. This is my first time presenting in VR and feel reasonably articulated. So I'm going to talk about the Lightning Artist Toolkit, which I've been working on for the past 4 years or so as a way to draw in VR and then use what I make in animated short films. And, you know, I've been amazed by Six Stuff controllers since they came out. The idea of being able to create in 3D as expressively and intuitively as in 2D has always been just amazing to me. So my background is in traditional animation. So drawing frame by frame in Flash and being able to bring that stuff into Blender Grease Pencil specifically has been kind of the taking off point for all of the short film work that I hope to make. The host has called on you and made you louder. Okay, cool, good. Can everyone hear me? So the ability to actually create in all sorts of using all sorts of different platforms, not being locked into one, bringing all that stuff into Blender Grease Pencil and, make a short film just like I used to in Flash was just incredibly compelling. So this is one of my later experiments. Here I am using this in a Mirage with the mixed reality mode turned on. And, here I am moving around the space where I am right now and doing a little Six Stuff drawing. Now, as far as I know, actually, the Mirage, what I gather is pretty much canceled, is the one of the only headsets where you can actually do this pass-through while also holding two controllers. The Focus might be able to do it. I mean, the Quest might be coming out with that at some point. Point is, being able to work independently of any one hardware platform or application. So it's a bunch of open source tools for Blender, for Unity, and for 3JS. And so what I can do is take frame by frame drawing, which is in a file format that I created, and move it between any platform I want. And we're going to pop into a world at the end of this presentation and see some animation that I've created and was able to bring into AltSpace. So here is even earlier. I started off working with the Hydra, if anyone remembers that, the Razer Hydra early, just before the Vive. And Leap motion controllers, which used to have a stylus mode. So all of this passes into Unity, and it can all be rendered however you like. In this case, just with the basic Unity line renderer. And as we got into Tango and ARKit and AR Core-enabled phones, I was able to bring some of my experiments over to those. So here we are drawing frame by frame over live video footage using the same framework. And here is a group of experiments. I've been sort of posting these on Instagram for the past couple of years, not limited to that Unity line renderer, but because you have all of the stroke data preserved, you're not just dealing with a sort of a mesh and you're done. You can take all of this information and render it however you like. You can mesh it in a number of different ways. You can bring it into a number of different platforms. Unreal brought in there. 3JS, HoloLens, Magic Leap. Just trying to find a way to a sort of perfectly portable and universal drawing toolkit. So this is the process. So here I am drawing in Tilt Brush. Tilt Brush has a completely open file format, so Tilt Brush can't do frame-by-frame animation, but it does have a completely open file format, so I'm able to integrate that into my toolkit. So it reads Tilt Brush files at the stroke level. So here I've brought that into Blender. And I'm able to animate frame by frame in Blender Grease Pencil and then render out the result. More recent, this is Blender 2.79. More recent versions of Blender actually add the ability to view real-time in VR in Blender itself, which I find really interesting. And also render real-time with Blender EV. But the really interesting thing that I'm heading into now, and I've actually just started a PhD at York University, working with machine learning and volumetric drawing, because I can access all of the data, all the stroke data myself, I'm working on a way to convert volumetric video into brushstrokes and work with it like I would composite traditional flat video and 2D drawing, because my animation, excuse me, my animation practice has always been heavily based on collage and compositing, and the idea of bringing all of that into 3D. So here I am working in a Vive, actually having brought in just contour-based volumetric video, and here I am painting it. And here are some renderings out of Blender. So it's still a little crude, but I really am looking forward to being able to work, again, exactly like I do in 2D, but in 3D. And here is a 3JS thing. This is live on my website now. I hooked this up to Magenta to play notes. Here is a machine learning model of my own piano playing from high school. So it is using the points in the stroke data to generate random music. Again, this is only possible because I've got all of the stroke data accessible. I'm not just, making a flat mesh. I've got all of the brushstroke information. So it's sort of become a platform for all sorts of things, all sorts of interesting research besides short film production, which was my kind of original idea. And where I'm trying to go with this now is to be able to record, say, RGBD video. So I'm really interested in depth capture strategies that I can feed through the analysis tool I'm sort of working on to generate brushstrokes. So I have prepared a little world there to sort of demonstrate the flexibility of this. So AltSpace doesn't natively support any sort of frame-by-frame format that I'm aware of, like Alembic, for instance. We tried when I was working with Alex and Aiden to get some of the stuff in there for this presentation. Like it won't let you import Alembic files, for instance. Or volumetric video from movie clips, but we were able to figure out how to generate with my toolkit some frame-by-frame animation that we can go see. So before we head into the portal, and we have actually tested this just now for Quest people as well, which is awesome. I'm on a Vive. Before we head into the portal, just any Q&A. Also, my little amplify voice does not work in the other world. Someone has raised a hand. Raise hand. Hi. So we can, I won't be as easy to hear. So yeah, any questions about this? Yeah?
Yes. You are on the air.
Hi, yeah, I was wondering, since you're just testing out this animation to be seen via the Quest here, if your program is usable with the Quest.
Yep. So in the end, it is just a Unity package. And yes, it does work on the Quest, and I have tested it in there.
Awesome.
Any other questions? No? All right.
All right, well, shall we all head in then? Further questions can be asked in the space.
All right, let us head over to. Will we still be on air in the world?
So in the new world, we are not going to have megaphone capabilities. So
Right.
if we can all huddle around, don't worry, social distancing doesn't count in VR. We'll be safe. And if you'd just like to head up the stairs into our Lightning Artist Gallery, we will meet you in the next world.
Okay, so this is the basic trick of this. I've managed to mesh one of these drawings, and that I'm actually just using scale keyframes to show and hide each frame of the animation in turn. And I'm using a vertex shader to handle the colors, the same as you would for tilt brush or for quill. Do any folks here, do you do VR drawing or
I
no?
just started using Tilt Brush.
Cool.
I'm only a week into my VR headset.
Nice. Yeah, that is one of the best ways to actually use this. The tilt brush files are actually prepared, are actually able to be imported directly into Blender with this toolkit.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Can someone say the name of that program again? I didn't catch it.
So it is, so Blender is the Blender Grease Pencil is where I've actually created all this animation. And I call my plugin the Lightning Artist Toolkit that I use to convert as many different kinds of drawing as I can get a hold of into Blender Grease Pencil, where all this stuff actually gets created. Another thing is that this allows me to do point cloud editing. This is a really interesting aspect of Blender Grease Pencil works with points as well. So I'm able to erase, draw on, recolor point clouds. So I really am hoping that this ends up being a frame-by-frame animation situation that goes beyond just working with hand-drawn cartoons, which I'm primarily interested in, but also incorporating any live-action footage into a drawn environment. This sort of hack is going to be just temporary. I mean, because this is already 7 megabytes, I believe, and the limit on the worlds that Alex said was 25. So we're already winging it. This gallery is going to be up throughout the festival, and I'll add a few more pieces to it as I convert them. But we quickly run up against the size limits. So one thing, I'm very curious if anyone's working with volumetric video or volumetric drawing, any ideas about formats and how to get essentially more space. Super interested in talking. I'm actually talking to some of the folks at the MPEG group. They're actually working on a volumetric video format that them and Kronos, they want to push to the standard, which would let us basically get a lot more because you can compress a mesh the same as you can compress an image. Get a lot more.
I think
And also yeah.
I think for alt space, the public spaces are more limited in size and bandwidth in general, but like they control that on their servers. You might actually, because you're developing something they'd probably be very interested in, if they haven't already contacted you, be able to access larger spaces.
Interesting. Okay.
Because I have friends, I made some friends on here who have been here for quite a while, and the common space campground, there, that's like on a larger, better quality server because it's an invitation for like everyone, so it has to be able to capacitate or have the capacity for a lot of people. So when we were testing stuff out, they're like, "Oh yeah, this is not as laggy or whatever, no matter what you do, because it's like one of their prioritized servers." So you might be able to speak with them to develop in a space with a bit more priority service.
That is really cool. Okay, thanks so much.
They also do, I think it's monthly meetings with the owners or whatever, the main creators.
Right.
Yeah.
Neat. Yeah, I mean, like all this stuff, bandwidth is going to be a huge, it's such a huge problem. Even getting this ready for Quest folks was a very last-minute affair. Like they didn't have documentation on their site. They only had desktop, how to prepare the world. So we winged it and we got it working, which is great, which is why probably a lot of you can't even be here. But yeah, it is such an interesting challenge to get this working for everybody. Any other questions? Got some thoughts. Is anybody working with machine learning and point cloud based solutions or 3D graphics in general? So I see a ding. People. What was that? Did anyone else hear that? I feel like
I think you're hearing things that we're not. Yeah.
right. I'm wondering if that's my time. I think that might actually be my my notice that we're 15 minutes from the hour. Okay, cool. So thanks so much for coming. And yeah, hope to see you guys around the conference. And any more questions are going to be on the Discord.
Ha 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 ha!